Can I leave you one more nugget? You want another nugget? Showing you that Jesus, in the story of the Samaritan, shows himself to be the God of Israel, the story of the Samaritan. Now, let me give you a little background about the Samaritans. The Samaritans were the 9.5 tribes of Israel that mixed in with the Assyrians and other nations, creating a new race. The Samaritans have Israelite blood in them. Why? Because originally Samaria was the capital of Israel. Samaria was the capital of Israel, northern kingdom. When the Assyrian king attacked Samaria in the 8th century, I meant the Chaldean king, forgive me. Assyrian king Sanherib attacked. He took the 9.5 tribes, relocated them, and mixed them in with other nations. And from that union, the Samaritans were created. That's why the Jews despised them, because they consider them half-breeds. Okay, now watch. Jews and Samaritans hated each other and would not contact each other. And did you know, this is a fact, the shortest way from Galilee to Jerusalem was go through Samaria. But the Jews, out of hatred for Samaritans, would go around Samaria and take the long way because they don't want to have any contact with them. So that's number one. Number two, it was considered unbecoming for a rabbi to engage a woman. So 2 strikes. You don't engage Samaritans. You don't engage women. This is where you got Islam from, Jewish teaching. Jesus breaks all cultural norms, right? He destroys all social taboos, turns them upside down, because he came to destroy social taboos and cultural norms that hit at the heart of God. Because Jesus came to love all peoples, all races, all genders. Because Jesus does the 2 things no rabbi would do: talk to a Samaritan and a woman. So he talks to a Samaritan woman. But now watch how he fulfills the Bible that says Yahweh is the God of Samaria. Watch it. And he had to pass through Samaria. So he came to a city of Samaria called Sychar, near the field that Jacob gave to his son Joseph. And Jacob's well was there. So Jesus, being wearied from his journey, was sitting thus by the well. It was about the 6th hour. A woman of Samaria came to draw water. Jesus said to her, "Give me a drink." For his disciples had gone away into the city to buy food. Therefore the Samaritan woman said to him, "How do you, being a Jew, ask for a drink from me, being a Samaritan woman?" See, now here, for Jews have no dealings with Samaritans. So she's shocked. Not only am I a woman, and you rabbis don't talk to women, but I'm a Samaritan. This shows you the heart of Jesus. Jesus says, the hell with your social taboos, the hell with your classes where you oppress, belittle, marginalize, or demonize those that don't fit your social norms or class type. I come to destroy all of that, undo all of that, because I love all classes of people. I love males and females, and I love all races. So don't put me in your box. I won't fit. Look how beautiful Jesus is. He comes to destroy all social classes that discriminate, marginalize, oppress, and demonize others that don't fit your social class, destroy all racial barriers and gender discrimination. That's Jesus. So women, that should make you happy. Here's a God that loves you as much as he loves males. And you non-Jews should make you happy, because the God of Israel is not a tribal God. He loves all creation. Jesus answered and said to her, "If you knew the gift of God, and who does who says to you, 'Give me a drink,' you'd ask him and he would have given you living water. Don't you know why I'm here? Look, I'm not here simply for physical drink. I'm here because I love you. I love all Samaritans, and I want to give you the water of life freely." These statements in its historical context were revolutionary. When you read the Gospels light of the 1st century, these things that Jesus is doing is blowing the minds of people away. Really, I'm not exaggerating. She said to him, "Sir, you have nothing to draw with, and the well is deep. Where then do you get that living water?" She's confused. Now notice the God-man. Notice he's the God-man, As man, he needs physical water. As man, he gets physically tired. As man, he needs humans to help him. Woman, bring me some water. As God, he's the source of life, living waters, and refreshment and rest. The God-man. Sir, you have nothing to draw with, and the well is deep. Where then do you get that living water? Are you greater than our father Jacob, who gave us this well and drank of it, himself and his sons and his cattle? Jesus answered and said to her, everyone who drinks of this water, watch her, will thirst again. And the reason why I came here, because here's the other instance where he uses the term woman for the Samaritan. So it's actually 5 times. But again, remember, I was thinking Mary twice, Mary Magdalene, her, and that's why I went to this passage, because nope, there's another instance. Calls her woman. Notice, in every context he calls someone woman, there's some significance. Okay, now watch here. Jesus said to her, everyone who drinks of this water will thirst again. Whoever drinks of that water that I will give him will never thirst, ever. But the water that I will give him will become in him a well of water springing up to eternal life. See the God-man? As God, he can give you everlasting, immortal life, peace, rest, and love. But as man, he's tired and he needs her to give him a drink. The one said to him, sir, give me this water, so I'll never be thirsty, nor come back here to draw. He said to her, remember, she's a Samaritan. Remember, they still have Israelite blood. Remember, Samaria was the capital of Israel. Go, call your husband and come back here. Now watch how deep this is. He said to her, go, call your husband and come back here. The woman answered and said, I have no husband. Jesus said to her, you have correctly said, I have no husband. Notice, for you have 5 husbands. She's been married 5 times. And the one you now have is not your husband. Now, this is deep. I have to give credit to Scott Hahn, but he killed me because he never made the connection for me. And I was going to pray wrath on him, but then I found it. Thank you, Scott Hahn. Honestly, it took me over a year. What is he talking about? And the one you now have is not your husband. This you have said truly. Now she's freaking out. The woman said to him, sir, I see that you're a prophet. Our fathers worshipped on this mountain, and you people say that in Jerusalem is the place where men ought to worship. Now, before I go there, how many husbands she had? 5. The one you now have is not your husband. Now let's go deep. 2 Kings 17:24. Hosea 2:16-20. Now watch. 2 Kings 17:24. The chapter is about the Syrian king attacking Samaria, the capital, deporting them, and then bringing in other nations to mix in with them. Now count how many. From Babylon, from Kutha, from Ava, from Hamath, from Savarvaim. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And settled them in the cities of Samaria in the place of the sons of Israel. So they possessed Samaria and lived in cities. Here are the 5 husbands of the Samaritans. These were the 5 nations that mixed in with the Israelites, creating the Samaritans. Here's their 5 husbands. You caught it? But wait. God prophesied he would come and marry Samaria again. He's talking to the Samaritans here. Samaria. Hosea 2 is all about Samaria and Israel. How many nations did it take to create the Samaritans? 5. Count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here are the 5 husbands of the Samaritans. But what did God say to Samaria? Hosea 2:16-20. It will be in that day, declares Yahweh, that you will call me Ishi. Ishi means my husband. Because some people may not know what the words mean. Ishi means my ish, my husband, is plural. Plural participle. Plural masculine participle. It's literally, your husbands are your makers. Yahweh is husbands and makers, plural. The one God, Yahweh, it's plural in Hebrew. For your maker, Asai, right? Makers is your husband. Baalai, plural of Baal, husbands. The word Asaic is the plural participle of Asa, and Baalaika, or Baalaik, is the plural noun form of Baal, and can therefore be read, for your makers are your husbands. This is a fact. They can't deny it. So how is Yahweh God makers How's Yahweh God husbands? How's Yahweh God creators, plural, when he's one God? Because he's the Trinity. And I'll give you this final one. Ecclesiastes 12:1. Remember also your creator, plural of bara, baraic, baraic, baraya, 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 plural of bara. Literally, you're crazy. And you don't believe me? Here you go. You go to Bible Gateway, you do Young's literal translation. Remember also thy creators, plural. But why does he want them to use the Hebrew word ishi? Because if you don't know this, the word Baal, Baal, can mean Lord, husband, or master. So you'll find in the Hebrew Bible, God called Baal. They would say Baali. Yahweh is my Baal, meaning my Lord, my husband. He goes, I don't want you to use that word anymore. Learn the principle. I don't want you to use Baal and call me your Baal, even though it can mean Lord, master, husband, because I don't want you to think of Baal anymore. I don't want you to think of Baal anymore, because the word Baal may get you tempted to go worship the false god Baal and all his different mutations. So I want to erase even that word, so you don't use it for me, because I want to get Baal out of your hearts. So start calling me Ishi. Use the Hebrew word for husband, Ish. Don't use the Hebrew word Baal anymore, because I don't want you to think of that name, because I don't want you to think of Baal. Okay, we got it here? And that day, declares the Lord, you will call me my husband, and will no longer call me my master. So I will remove the names of the Baals from her mouth, so that they will be remembered by their names no more. And in that day, I will cut out a covenant for them with the beasts of the field, the birds of the sky, and the creeping things of the ground. I will break the bow, the sword, and war from the land. I will make them lie down in security. Notice, and that day I will come and marry you. I will marry you again. I will be your husband again. I will betroth you to me forever. Indeed, I will betroth you to me in righteousness, justice, in love and kindness and compassion. I will betroth you to me in faithfulness. Then you'll know Yahweh. So did you see the promise? He says to the Samaritans, not the Samaritans, I'm sorry. He says to Israel, the northern kingdom, Ephraim, the northern kingdom, the capital being Samaria, I will marry you again and I'll be your husband. But what happened to Samaria? 5 nations came mixed in with the Israelites pertaining to Samaritans. But Jesus, because he's God, cannot lie. He came to fulfill his promise. He came to marry the Samaritans. That's why he said, you have spoken well. You have 5 husbands, but the one now is not your husband. Me. I am here and I'm not your husband yet. But I've come to marry you. Here's Yahweh, the God of Samaria, saying, I have come to marry you like I said. You've had 5 husbands, and the one with you now, me, is not your husband, not yet. So who did Jesus make himself out to be? Yahweh, the God of Samaria, coming to fulfill his promise. So though the woman herself had 5 husbands, she's a picture of Samaria. Samaria was formed, Samaritans were formed, when 5 nations came mixed in with Samaria, creating the Samaritans. Count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 Kings 17:24. This is when Samaritans are formed. And Yahweh will come to be their husband forever. And so the Samaritan is a picture of the nation. Samaria, the woman, the Samaritan woman. Samaria, 5 nations mixed in, creating Samaritans. Woman had 5 husbands. Yahweh is coming to be the husband of Samaria. And the one standing before her is not her husband yet. And the one you now have, meaning the one, now it can, not saying she didn't have one at home, but notice it's ambiguous deliberately. The one you now have, me, talking to you, woman, not your husband yet.